Merry meet everyone, and welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am your Wednesday host, Houston, and this week, week 16, I believe, we are talking about healing magic, or the magic of healing. Either way you want to put it, the healing arts, or however. There are tons of ways to go about it, healing, that is. Whether it be energy work, candle magic, there's tons of healing spells, and I do apologize for the bouncing. I'm kind of fidgety tonight. Um, with the full moon being last night and tonight, I'm still feeling edgy. But there's tons of healing spells. Healing is one of my favorite forms of magic to practice. Um, I am I do practice Reiki, and I practice other energetic forms of healing, um, working with beings during my healing sessions. So there's a lot of things that you can incorporate with healing. One thing that I am not up to par or knowledgeable on as much is use of herbs, of the use of herbs in healing. Um, I know like how to make healing teas and salves and poultices and things like that. I do not know how to do that. That's something that I will learn later on down the road. Um, but I do know how to make, use them for incense and things like that. Um, in my energetic practice, um, I work mostly on self healing. So working with the self and working with healing wounds. From my past or from the present, or working with getting rid of anger. Anger is not a bad emotion, but it can cause blocks when you're trying to manifest something. So working to get rid of anger, guilt, worry, stress, healing anything inside of me that needs to be healed. Because my partner always tells me that you can't help anybody unless you're at your best. So I am working on getting myself up to the level where I can confidently say or do um, healings. I do, as you know, healings is a profession. I do healings for friends that ask, um, but they're nothing big or grandiose. I don't actually think I've ever done. Um, I think the longest time that I've ever had someone on the table when I was doing a Reiki session was 30 minutes. Yeah, I think 30 minutes is the longest time. But, sorry. Um, so, I'm learning, and it's awesome journey to learn. And like I said, there's so many other forms of healing. Not everyone has to be a Reiki master to know and work with energy to heal. You can call on, as long as you know how to feel and sense energy, you can call on the elements and work with the elements, and do a psychic healing that way and heal the body, or heal an animal or heal a plant. The healing arts aren't just or aren't only used to heal the human body. They can be used to heal a sick animal. They can be used to heal a plant. They can be used to um, cleanse. You can use the mechanics and methods of energetic healing or um, to cleanse a space. Um, so let's say that you, it's almost like feng shui, but I'm not really that into feng shui. I'm just comparing it to it, comparing the style to it. So let's just say that you walk in, you've had an argument with a coworker, and you know, um, you have the ability to get there the next day. Like you, at the end of the shift, you have an argument with your coworker, and you just leave. You clock out like normal, and you guys just lock up and head home. into the shift madness and all that jazz. And you thought about it, and you're like, you know what, I just want this behind me. I just want, to apologize and, set the intention for healing. So you go in if you have the ability to go in before them, um, and you can set the intention of, you can have certain crystals on you to bring about peace and healing between you, the two of you, and the space, and to clear the space. So you can visualize calling the elements to kind of heal the rift that you two have created between each other with the argument, and apologize and explain your points of view as to why it's just an easier way to help in certain situations. That's just one instance that just popped into my head. I know that with healing magic, there are tons of so-called ethics. And I mean, there should be ethics with everything, but I think you should abide by your personal ethics more so than what a book says, or what an author says, or what a teacher says. Um, Unless you're going on a particular tradition um, that you have to practice this way. That I don't know of. Okay, Reiki is different. Reiki can be personalized, at least from my understanding, and from what my teacher says. My master said it can be personalized for you to use it however you please. Reiki is not an energy that's going to harm anybody. It's not going to do anything bad. So if you're going to try to use Reiki to curse someone, yeah, that's not going to work. Period. But it can be used to protect yourself, to create a shield, to cast sacred space, to create a circle, to cast a circle, to cleanse an area, to manifest objects, to manifest desires and wishes. It can be used for so many things. Um, but when we think down to the nitty gritty, healing and ethics, it's kind of weird because I'm not a fan of a lot of the ethics, but I do believe in some of them. I do believe in equal exchange of energy. So if I'm going to perform a healing on you or on someone, um, I go into it fully knowing that this is an equal exchange of energies. We're either going to barter on something because I am um, working healing arts on, healing energies on you, and using my energy and channeling the energy into you for a certain amount of time, and we can barter something or payment. There's a lot of people who think that um, spiritual gifts such as divination, psychic readings, and healing should be free because they're gifted. I apologize, but that's not how the case was. Um, some people who are attuned to Reiki pay thousands of dollars for attunements. And for someone to come up with them and it's like, oh, that should be free because, it's a spiritual gift and it should be for everybody. That's kind of like a slap in the face because they just pay $1,000 to get attuned to this, awesome healing energy. And someone's going to mock it, or not really mock it, but look down on them because you're charging. You're not trying to make your money back, and that's probably not what you want to do. You probably don't want to, get rich quick. You just want to help people. At least that's how I look at it. I don't want to, get rich, or, I just want to be able to get by. So when I do healings, it's an equal exchange. I I've always stand by that for my psychic readings too. It's $1 a minute. It's very simple. I mean, there are people that have set prices for certain things. Um, and maybe when I get further down the line and I have more experience at working at fairs and things, I'll do that. Now on to another ethnical, not ethnic, ethic, eth, ethics, not ethnic, ethics. Sorry, I apologize. Ethics. So another one is that you should have the person's permission if you're the one you're performing healing arts on or magic on. Um, I unfortunately, I don't stand behind that one 100%, because I don't believe that the magic is going to not work if I don't ask their permission. If I know, let's say that my mom and dad, who are Christian, they're open minded, but they're Christian, like my little brother and his girlfriend. They're Christian, but they're open minded. And they accept both me and my partner and our spiritual practices and our relationship, everything like that. But if I knew that one of them were sick or injured or whatever, um, and I just can't just come out. I could be kind of, I don't want to say coy, but say that I'll pray for you, I'll keep you in my thoughts, and send healing energy their way. You know, I can always ask them straight out, is that okay? It just seems to me, I don't, if I know you're in pain and I know it's going to help you, I don't, for me, I just don't want to have to ask your permission for it. And I know that seems probably kind of bad on my aspect, and bad on my part. Certain things I will ask, because if they're not within like my family or my close circle of friends, I will ask, hey, is it okay if I send energy? Um, you know, or if someone requests it, then of course I'll send it. But if it's within my friends or family, um, by me saying that I'll pray for you, I'll keep you in my thoughts. Um, if they're in a really bad situation, I'm sending Reiki to them. They may not consciously know it, and that's okay. When I send Reiki distance wise, I connect with their guides, and I let them know that that I'm only here to send healing energy, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. I'm only here to help with the healing and the healing process of whatever they're going through. Um, so there's another one that I wanted to. Oh, and on that note, it is considered by some in some traditions that still color magic, which is as more that I study, the more stupid it sounds. But there are newbies, and in a lot of new Wiccan witchcraft books, magic is still colored. Um, and what I mean by that is like white magic, black magic, gray magic, green magic, whatever. Um, but is considered to be, if you do not ask their permission and you go ahead and send magic, you are influencing them, even if it's in a positive way. It's still seen that you are influencing them without their knowing. So it's kind of leaning towards the darker aspects of magic, even though it's a healing magic or protection magic or cleansing. Anything like that, if you don't have their permission, then it's going more of the darker path, which I call bullshit. Um, just my opinion. My opinion. And if someone disagrees with me, let's have a chat in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion on it. But that's just my opinion. If I know you're going through a hard time, and I know that you need some extra healing energy from what have you, I'm gonna send it. I may not tell you I'm gonna send it, but I'm gonna send it. And I'll check up on you and say, hey, how you doing? How you having a good day or whatever. But I'm not gonna let you know that I sent energy. That unless you specifically ask me for it, or it's in that situation where I don't know you that well. We're probably Facebook friends, or a friend of a friend, and I don't know you that well, and I'm gonna ask you because I don't know you. But if you're, like I said, a close friend of mine, which is a very close circle, or family, I'm not really gonna ask your permission. If I feel that you need a little bit of Reiki, then I'm gonna send you Reiki or healing energy of whatever sort. Um, but that's just my little ramble. Um, there are tons of other ethics as well, but those are the only two that, or only three that really come to mind. Um, and since I don't know a lot about herbs, one thing I do want to forewarn people, since I don't know a lot about herbs, is to, before you use any type of herb in any type of um, poultice, tea, incense blend, whatever. If you're making it for yourself, research the herb. Make sure it's not toxic. Um, if you're making it for someone else, make sure they're not allergic to it, because you don't really want the adverse effect, reverse effect. You don't want it to be for healing, and all of a sudden they're like 10 times worse in the hospital because of something you made and you didn't ask the proper questions. Um, Now, before I go, this is gonna be a little lengthy, and I apologize. But before I go, if you're interested in the healing arts, there are tons of amazing books out there, and there are tons of amazing people and teachers and schools of healing arts that you can acquire, you can talk to, and you can attend classes. Um, and there are tons of us here in Witches of the Moon that practice different methods of healing. Um, I wanted, if you are one, to or I spaced out and totally forgot what I was going to say. I totally forgot. But well, I guess we'll end it with that. There are a lot of us here on Witches of the Moon that practice different healing methods, whether it be through healing spells, through energy work, through prayers, mantras, meditation, visualization, um, you know, things of that nature. We all practice some form of healing arts in our craft. Um, I say that in a general sense. So, if you have any questions, um, please don't hesitate to ask any of us. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down in the comment section below. There are tons of people out there, other than us, the six of us here at Witches of the Moon, um, that practice, that are Reiki masters or masters of Shambhala or masters of, different energy healing systems that you could, you know, learn under or study under. And there are also schools of magic or schools of healing, and I think you can Google healing art schools or healing art colleges on Google, and there a couple of them will come up. um, so with that, if you have any questions for me, I hope this all made sense. I really do. Like I said, healing is one of my favorite forms of magic, um, and it's not because you're well, actually, it is. It's because that you get to see someone and help someone along the way when they're struggling. Um, that's one of the things that I like about it. I do like to see and like to help people when they are feeling low or when they're in pain, and try to help them get out of it and get rid of the pain, um, with using traditional medication. Um, like Ava said in her first video, in those Monday's video, I don't advise just going to someone who practices Reiki when you are um, when you have an illness, such as a mental illness, that's depression, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia, or a physical illness such as maybe Crohn's disease, muscular dystrophy, cancer, anything like that. Don't just rely on holistic healing. Um, Tie it into traditional medication. And I know people are going to say, well, Big Pharma is just out there for money. And that is true, but there are a lot of cases where the medication that the Western doctors, Western medicine has provided has helped a lot of people when it is in conjunction with holistic and natural healing. So, yeah. So that's all I'm going to say on the topic. I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next week, many blessings. See you later, guys.